Hey, welcome to the channel, and let's do I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen. This song's been covered by a lot of artists, and there are only four chords, but it's not necessarily an easy song I would call to play because I wouldn't say it's easy because there's kind of this Travis picking. I do this Travis picking with my um, pick. And I'll show you how to use it with the pick. I also do a finger picking process with Travis picking on the song through the chords, and there's a pattern that I may cover in a future video, so stay tuned for that. So let's just do it simple, as these how-to lessons on songs should be adding it to your 100 list of learning 100 songs. And so you can see technique-wise, this is going to get you kind of with your right hand more with that rhythm, getting that doon 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 down with that do 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 process, right? So let's kind of cover these chords. So let's get into the song. The song basically is an intro and a verse, and they've kind of got a middle instrumental. There's a verse, and then there's an outro that kind of somewhat repeats itself. So, and there are four chords, but again, I wouldn't call it a beginner because two of the chords are bar chords. So let's cover those chords right now. So the chords to the song start off with that E, and there's an A. Now you can play this A either way you want. You can do it, or you can just flat and bar it. You know, easy to do. And then there's a B, and then there's a C sharp, right? C sharp minor. And those are all the chords. E, A, B, C sharp minor, right? But these are your two bar chords. So download a chord chart, but there's plenty of tools online. I found one the other day where you can just type in any chord you want, and it'll show you all the finger patterns all the way up and down the neck for any chord you want. C sharp 7th, major 7th, G major 7th. You do G major 7th, A major 7th, so it's a movable chord. For non-movable chords, it kind of shows you what those chords would be no matter where they are. So utilize any of those tools on the internet. I mean, those are great tools. I wish I had them when I was a kid. I had a record player and a needle, or a cassette player. So if you're older like me, you remember rewind, and you had a perfect timing, like rewind, play, but you knew how fast that rewind was, and you could nail it pretty much right on the tee every time. Manual process. Skills that we've learned in our youth that are no longer viable. Anyway, let's kind of cover that first verse here for a second. That first verse again starts off with an E, and then I'll always show you the verses, and then I'll show you the intros and the middles and the outros here afterwards. So let's do the verses. The verse starts off with the E, right? So it's, hey little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go away and leave you all alone, right? So on that alone on the A. So it's, hey little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go away and leave you all alone? Right? And then he goes into, I got a bad desire. And then it straight goes up to the C sharp minor. Desire. A, B, E. So pretty simple, right? So you start off with that E. Tell me now, baby, is it good to you? Can he do the things that I do on the A? Can he take you higher on the C sharp minor? Ooh, I'm on fire. And that's the first verse. It just repeats itself. E, A, C sharp minors. And then he goes down to the Now, the second verse is a little bit different. It starts off with the A because he starts to go, sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull. He cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul. At night, and he goes back to E. At night, I wake up with a sheet soaking wet and the freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire on that C sharp. And then And those are the two verses. Let me cover that second verse real quick. Again, it starts off with that A. So it's sometimes it's like someone took a knife, the edgy end though, and he cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul. At night he'd wake up with the sheets soaking wet, and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my, on the A, my desire on the C sharp minor, and then A, B, E, right? So here's the parts and pieces of that. So you can see the pattern in the beginning on the first verse goes E, and there's a little pattern there, to the A, to the C sharp minor, to the A. So the first verse, if we break that down, it's just E, to the A, to the C sharp, and then this repeats through the song. So it's that fun little part where it goes 1, 2, 1, 2, A, B, E, right? And he does that in the second verse, but he starts off with the A. So it's sometimes it's like someone took a knife, edgy and dull, got a 6-inch belly through the middle of my, or 6-inch belly. It starts at blah blah blah. I messed that up trying to read the lyrics here. So second verse again. Sometimes it's like, right, on the A, and he edgy and dull, right? Edgy and dull and cut off 6-inch, right, on that E, changes on the E, through the middle of my soul, back to the E. It is the same thing, and then only you can cool my desire. So just that second verse goes A, E, C sharp, and then he goes back to the E, right? And then A, C sharp, and then. So those are the chords and kind of the pattern to the verses. Again, download some tab. It's all written out for you, so you don't have to remember that from the song. Just get those timings off, and timings off. Get the timing down to the song. Listen to it so you kind of play along with it. You'll hear in the background there's a little bit of chunky Travis picking. So let me cover that pattern real quick. Let's just do that on the E string. It's the same through the whole song, other than that down. Right? I use that same process. Now, there is a finger. You can do it as a finger picking, Travis picking, but you can do it with your pick. So this is where it's going to build your skills. It's why I say learn songs, right? Because there's techniques in the songs that will help you with building your skills. So if you're already an advanced player and you probably don't even need this video, just download some tab. But let's kind of teach you the song. So let's go through this pattern real quick, and just hold your E, right? So I start off with I'm just hitting the E, the B. I'm rotating. So you can hear in the background of that song, there's a little bit of a Travis picking on there. And I can do it with my fingers. You can do a Travis picking. You can finger pick this whole song. I may cover that in a later video. But for now, let's just show you kind of how to do that with the pick. And let's just hold your E. And you can kind of see the pattern I use is kind of a down on that E. Down, up. So it's... kind of down, up, down, up, down, up. So, but you hit that, you're going to rotate this. Oops. Hear that. And then you can kind of do that kind of bouncing bass through the whole thing. So it's at night I'm sorry. Hey little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go away and leave you all alone? Right? Or you can kind of chunk it a little bit. There's I kind of, when I'm singing it, I kind of chunk it a little bit and slow it down, so it's just kind of, hey little girl, let your daddy home, let you go away and leave you all alone. Oops, keep hitting the wrong chord, don't I? So it's the intro and the outro. You can kind of do the, but when you start to sing it, it kind of slows down a little bit. So, or I slow it down basically. So it's, hey little girl, let your daddy home, let you go away and leave you all alone. So that's kind of the pattern a little bit. Kind of practice along with that pattern. Listen to the song and then kind of figure out what you want to do with that pattern for the song. It's kind of that strumming pattern. But it's a rotating. Hey little girl, let your daddy home, let you go away and leave you all alone. I mix it a little bit between this down, down, up to a. And so I fluctuate between kind of a chunking and that down, up, down, up, down, up pattern. So you can kind of use my patterns kind of the way kind of do a kind of a chunk. Right, so it could be a down up, or you can just keep it more simple, down. Good way to practice that, hitting that bass note and getting this. So it's a good song for practicing your rhythm and hitting that bass note. So hopefully that pattern works for you, and if this is a good video, follow for more.